And now the mics are on. So, Madam Chair, we're ready at your convenience.
All right. All right, I'd like to call the City of Riverside Planning Commission meeting for Monday, April 15th, 2024, to order at 6:45. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Denning,
Here.
Mr. Hairston, Mr. Owens,
Here.
Mr. Rogers, Mr. Vasquez.
Here.
At this time, the chair would entertain a motion to excuse Mr. Hairston and Mr. Rogers.
So moved.
I'll second. We have a motion and a second to excuse Mr. Rogers and Mr. Hairston. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Approval of agenda. If there's no additions or deletions to the agenda at this time, the chair would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as published. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Minutes?
Minutes, we cannot vote on because.
Yes, you can.
They
You don't
won't-
have
neither
to,
one
it
will-
doesn't matter. You don't
got
have
a
to have
copy.
been here.
I got a copy.
You, when you have a
Really?
copy of
I
them.
read.
Yep.
Okay, so plain devil's advocate from what I've been taught, but they weren't here to attest that those are.
It doesn't, that shouldn't matter. It's the same as if an entire council were to switch, like a new council come in. The train still keeps going. It's just to stop and get on. They're attesting to the fact that these minutes happen, not exactly attesting to the fact of every single thing that was said, but that it happened, and the results where the motions were carried or denied happened. That's what they're attesting to.
Okay.
Would that be close to how I recalled it?
Yes, and if a commission member was uncomfortable, they could abstain, but there can be a motion.
Because normally that's what seems to
Yeah,
happen, is
but-
they abstain from the motion.
But that is not,
Not required.
that's not required, and
If
that's
they're
not
comfortable, right.
actually how it should be done.
Okay, totally different than anything I've been taught, so. All right, so we have minutes before us. Chair would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the meeting minutes of March 18th, 2024. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay, moving on to our first hearing, which is continued from our last meeting, and that is PC case 24-0005 for the 2121 Harshman Road. Because all testimony in that was heard at the last meeting, and there's only one commissioner here tonight that heard all that testimony, and it looks like we won't have a quorum of commissioners in May that will be here. I'm going to make a motion to continue this to our June Planning Commission meeting.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to continue PC case 24-0005 to our June Planning Commission meeting. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Denning,
Yes.
Mr. Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Vasquez.
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to PC case 24-0006. This is a waiver request for 7825 Union Schoolhouse Road, partial ID I393002010035. It is a waiver to allow a combined accessory structure footprint to exceed that of the principal structure. At this time, we will hear the city's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll fill in for Ms. Holt this evening. So I, Joshua Roush, affirm that the testimony I'm about to give before the Planning Commission is correct to the best of my knowledge. And Ms. Holt graciously prepared her usual presentation for all of us, so I'll go ahead and put that up on the screen. And once I learn how to operate my keyboards, we will kick this off. All right, so I'll kind of walk you through the customary presentation here. So this is a case concerning a property at 7825 Union Schoolhouse Road. The request is a waiver to allow the combined accessory structures footprint. There's a proposed structure that would go at the rear of this lot that would exceed the footprint of the principal structure. So here is a map of the subject property outlined in blue. The proposed accessory structure will go at the very rear of the lot, back here in the corner or in the back end as you'll see on the proposed site plan. I believe the proposed structure is about 66 feet wide by 80 feet deep. And it's shown in more detail here. It amounts to a three-bay garage. Some site photos. So this is the front of the subject property. The adjacent property across Union Schoolhouse. The adjacent property to the west. The adjacent property to the east. And a view of the existing accessory structures as visible from the road. This photo shows the area where the proposed accessory structure will be built, which is the basis for the requested waiver. At the end of the day, Ms. Holt recommends, or staff recommends approval of the waiver because we feel that, upon review, the proposed waiver will not adversely affect adjacent property owners. What with the size of the lot and the fact that it would be located at the rear of the lot, would assist the applicant's efforts to comply with the UDO. And this is basically the minimum request that provides them relief from the regulations. So staff are recommending approval as presented. I will note that there was an interesting fact that Ms. Holt included in the case background, though. Just one item of note, which is that should the waiver be granted, the proposed structure would put enough impervious area on this parcel to where, after it's built, the parcel would have 35% coverage of impervious area. So no additional structures could be built without the applicant having to go to the Board of Zoning Appeals on the coverage matter. But as far as the request, staff certainly don't object to the waiver at this time, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions for staff?
I have none.
Okay. The applicant's in the room, I believe. If I get to the right person here. Mr. Pepper, would you like to address the commission? This is your opportunity to convince us. To the podium, please. It becomes part of public record. So one, our audience at home needs to hear you, and two, the city clerk needs to be able to hear it for the minutes later. And there's a oath on the table there. If you can just state that, your name, your address, and then say the oath, that would be great.
Okay, my name is James Pepper, 7825 Union Schoolhouse Road. I am about to give before the planning commission is correct, to the best of my knowledge. So when we talk about the existing structures, the one on the left side, we are going to tear that down to open that area up, so it's, so we have more room, basically,
Okay.
so.
I was going to ask you if
Yeah.
any of the smaller ones were going to come down.
Yeah, they're going to come down. The three-car garage, we're going to try to save that. But if it does get into, in a way, we are going to demolish that as well.
So just to be clear, you're saying the structure here on the left is the
Yes.
one that'll be torn down?
Yes, sir.
This is the one that would be preserved?
Right,
Gotcha.
exactly.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Any questions for the applicant? Harold?
No.
All right. Anything
Good.
else you have? for
That's
us?
it. Thank
All
you so
right.
much.
Thank you. Okay, let's see here. Moving on to public comment, I have, I forget which one came in. James King. If you can step to the podium, state your name, your address, and recite the oath there for us, please.
I'm James King. I live at 7800 Union Schoolhouse Road. I affirm that the testimony I'm about to give before the Planning Commission is correct to the best of my knowledge. I own the property directly across the street that was shown in the video. I'm just here to support him. If there was any questions or concerns that I could answer, that's why I'm here.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Thank you. And we have Todd.
That's me.
Okay.
You don't have to pronounce the last name.
Could you pronounce it for us, please?
Mushno, the E is silent. Just got married during the eclipse.
Mushno, okay. Now I see.
So, it will soon be McDaniel. And Aaron McDaniel will then become co-owner, I guess. So, hurrah. That's one of the things I wanted to say is, just moved into the area, thank you. Just wanted to say hi. And, he's my neighbor.
You do need to do the oath.
Oh, the oath. I said my name and address. I, Todd Mushno, at 4345 North Highland Avenue.
5 or 6?
Huh? 4346.
Okay.
Sorry,
That's,
just moved
I didn't
in.
know which one was.
Affirm that the testimony I'm about to give before the Planning Commission is correct to the best of my knowledge. So I'm all for it. That area back there is actually very bright, so actually having a building there to provide a little bit of shade is actually positive for me, so I say go.
All right.
That's all I have.
Thank you, and welcome to Riverside.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. Moving on. So we'll close the public hearing and commissioners. Any comments?
I have none.
I don't have any comments.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion. I move to approve the waiver under PC case number 24-0006, based on the staff report, City of Riverside Comprehensive Plan, and the evidence and testimony heard today.
Second that?
We have a motion and a second to approve PC case 24-0006. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Vasquez?
Yes.
Mrs. Denning?
Yes, motion carries. Sir, please get with Ms. Holt and on next steps. Okay? But as far as our piece of it, it was approved tonight. Okay? All right. Mrs. Matheny, I know that the case we're not talking about, but was there anything else you had for Planning Commission, or we'll see you in June?
I'll see you in June.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. Sorry you made that trip.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on to staff discussion topics. I'm assuming we don't really have any tonight.
Just one very brief. I'll just give a quick update. We will have a presentation at the May work session for City Council, just a brief update on the status of our code rewrite updates. I know Ms. Holt has been in touch with several firms, getting ideas and thoughts about scope as well as costs. And just to remind the folks in attendance as well as the public, we're going to attack that problem from two different angles. The first will be what kind of a code should we be writing, whether that's a traditional zoning code or more of a form-based code. And then the second scope will be to actually produce that code through this firm. So she'll provide an update at the May 9th work session meeting for City Council. And then we look forward to getting a running start on that so that we can go as quickly as possible to address the code update. That's all I have.
And are we talking yet about the committee she has?
Yeah, we're going to set up a steering committee to help oversee, yes, that process as well, which has a few different representatives from, I think, Planning Commission, BZA, a couple other folks that are involved, and then staff too, just to help guide and shepherd that
Right.
conversation, so.
It's really a committee made up of a really wide range of people, including our youth. One of our interns is going to be on it, and lives here, but, so it'll be nice to have that fresh input. So yeah, I thought that was a neat idea that Ms. Holt had, so. Okay, anything else?
Nope, that's all we have.
Law Director, you have anything for us?
No, thank you.
All right. Ms. Katie?
I have nothing. I mean, we could talk about everything, but really, no.
Okay. All right, matters by commission. Mr. Vasquez.
I don't have anything for tonight, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Owens.
I have nothing tonight, thank you.
All right. I don't have anything either, so Chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the Planning Commission meeting of April 15th, 2024 at 7 o'clock, it looks like. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned.